Hi everyone and welcome back to my Essex homestead allotment. Today's the 2nd of April, so I thought I'd just do a quick plot tour with you. So I'll just show you around the greenhouse first. So these are my brassicas up here, some cabbage, cauliflowers, broccoli and kale. And then down here I've got my celery and celeriac, and there's some sugar snap peas. They're going to go on my pea arch outside the greenhouse. Down here I've got some spring onions. These are the red ones, they haven't germinated very well. Some cauliflowers at the front there and some lettuces at the back. And my re-sowing of leeks are just starting to come up now. Down here I've got my daughter's sweet peas and a few herb cuttings. And then these are re-sowings of radish and more spring onions. Down here are my parsley and dill I've potted on, and then I've got my daughter's podding peas down there for her square foot garden. And then down here I've got my leeks. They have a poor germination, so I've obviously done the re-sowing on the shelving there. And then up here got some lettuces over the back there. These are spinach. These are all lupins in here. These are more mustard and rocket and turnip. Some early French beans for the greenhouse, they're going to go in a container. I've actually managed to get some Brussels sprouts to germinate. I've gone out and bought another packet, a different variety this time, so I'm going to sow them, and these ones are an F1 that I've bought, so see if I can actually get them to germinate properly. And then there's a few other herbs in these ones. Some more lettuce to go outside. Just going to give these a little bit longer to root in because I've only pricked them out about a week ago. So another tray of beetroot down here. There's a tray of herbs here, and then in these two are some flowers that I sowed the other day. And the carnations are actually starting to come up, so happy with those ones. The other two varieties I'll put up on the screen now. And then down here I've got my compost early potato trial. So in the middle is the store-bought new compost. This is used compost that I can get hold of, and this is homemade compost. So there's quite a difference between the three. We're getting cold temperatures overnight at the moment, so I'm just putting some bubble wrap around those. A bit of a clean up in here. Some pots and bits and pieces, and then this is my bed that I've planted out with lettuce. So that's growing really quickly now. And then these are some multi-sown radishes, and I've already taken a harvest off of these, so yeah, they're coming along nicely now. Happy with those. I'll go outside. I've got my pea arch. Turn around. So I've got my pea arch here, and a few peas are growing in there, but the rest of the sugar snap peas are going to go over this. This is my raised carrot bed, my raised parsnip bed. I've just put another top mulch on here. It sunk down an inch, so I've just topped that back up. I'll be sowing these parsnips within the next 2 weeks. This carrot bed, once the weather warms up overnight, which should happen later on this week, I'll be sowing my carrots. And I'm going to do I've managed to get hold of some pelleted carrot seeds, so I'm going to do a trial pelleted carrot seeds versus just normal seeds. So that's as you come out of the greenhouse. Down the side of my greenhouse is a mess, but I managed to get hold of a couple more water butts, so I'm going to connect all 3 of these up with my guttering system. And then down the side here I've got to dig out the stinging nettles and put a layer of cardboard and probably some wood chips down there, and go to the dump and dump a few bits and pieces. But yeah, that's out of the way, but that is a job to do this month. And then round here is my daughter's square-foot garden. So she's already planted 5 strawberry plants in there, and then we'll be sowing some carrots, and she's already sown some peas and her sweet peas in there. So well, sweet peas in the greenhouse, but they'll be planted out in there. And then I've tidied these strawberry plants up in these containers. Down here I've got some jazzy potatoes. I've got 5 tubs of those. I've got 3 tubs in the greenhouse, they're the early trial. And then I've got 7 tubs of Maris Bard here. So yeah, that's all of that. And then I've got my main no dig allotment here. So I've got 6 beds in all. I've got bed 1, bed 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in bed 1 I've got my lettuces and rocket and some mustard plants in here, and these are all interplanted with spring onions. These have only been planted out a week, 10 days, and they've doubled in size already, so I'm really happy with that. And then in bed 2 I've got radish on the outside, so 2 outside rows radish, and then I've got a whole row of Monge 2 peas down here. And then in the other half, later on this month, I'm going to sow a succession sowing of peas, so they'll go in here. And then my spinach will go either side of that. Bed 3 hasn't got anything in it at the moment. Bed 4 has got some turnips, some multi-sown turnips, and my onion sets in it. So my onion sets are down the middle, and then down here is multi-sown beetroot, 4 to 5 in a cell, and then I'll just dip them once they're big enough and plant them out. And then the last 2 beds, 5 and 6, haven't got anything in them at the moment, but this is my main brassica bed, and this will be French beans, so I've still got to do the frame for that. And then down here is going to be a block of sweet corn with squashes growing underneath them, and wherever they want to go should be plenty of room for them. Down here, shadow out of the way, these are all Nicola potatoes, so they're double rowed ones are all Nicola potatoes. And then these ones are Salpomira, so I've got 8 tubs of Salpomira. And then at the end of these are my compost bins. So this one's empty at the moment, it's just got some netting and some water pipe in it. I've got to pull that out of there. And then all these weeds and dirt and everything in there has got to be turned into here, and I've got to go out and get some horse manure, and that's a job I need to get done within the next week or so really. I'm going to get that out of the way so I can shut it up. I've got another, like a door slides in there, and then there's a lid that goes on the top. So yeah, so a bit of that, a bit of horse manure till I fill it up, and then I've got some grass clippings to go on there no doubt when I cut the grass again. So that's the back of my greenhouse. Yeah, there's a lot going on in there, but still more to sow, and I've got a lot of seedlings inside, so I'll show you those in a minute. So in here I've got my tomatoes and chilies and peppers, so some chilies and peppers are here. These tomatoes are starting to get on the verge of being too leggy, but I need to get them out in the greenhouse, but the temperatures overnight are just too cold at the moment. So yeah, they're okay. And I've got, these are California Wonder peppers, and I've got some chilies in these two here. some cayenne, there's some prairie fire, and some, yeah, there's some cayenne and some prairie fire and some cyclone. So there's a hot pepper, there's some for pizzas, there's some for salsas there, and then these are my salad peppers. So yeah, these are my tomatoes. They're Golden Crown, Gardener's Delight and Moneymaker. I'll just show you a few more upstairs. Here I've just got a few early cucumbers. They're starting to look a bit sad for themselves, but there's some mini munch and some telegraph. There's a few tomatoes and a couple of chilies there. And then down here I've got some more flower seedlings. Nothing's germinated yet, but we'll see how they go. Right, well that's my April plot tour done. I'm pretty happy with the progress, especially when I look back on some of my earlier videos and see what the plot looked like earlier on in the year. Quite happy with how it's come along. As you can see, I've still got lots to do. Carrots will be next, followed by parsnips. And yeah, sort the greenhouse out ready for the cucumbers and tomatoes later on in the month. As you can see, I've got lots to go outside soon. More to prick out and pot on. So yeah, quite happy with how it's coming along. It's a bit deceiving with the sunlight. It's going to drop down to -2 or 3 tonight, so I'm going to give these another hour of sunlight, these beds, and then I'm going to cover them up for the night. But yeah, if you like my videos, then think about subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.